And we're back again to talk about some units in Supremacy 1914. Today we're going to talk about the tank. I just picked one of my provinces here and we're going to click it up because I think it's easier this way. Because we're not going to talk about one of the tanks, we're going to talk about both of them. They're so similar, so there's no point in doing two separate videos about them, I think. So we should just compare them and put them all in one video, or all, both of them. So we have the tank, that's the regular tank, and we have the heavy tank. Let's look at some differences between the two. So the normal tank, 20,000 money, heavy tank is 30,000, so it's 50% extra. It costs 5,000 iron or 7,000 iron. That's about uh, 40% extra. And the oil costs 3,000 and 4,000. That's about 33% extra. So you're adding 50, 40, 30, something extra. And it's also a little bit extra production time for these, but you're gaining a lot actually. Let's go down here first. The both are anti-land. They are very good at attacking normal, that is normal infantry and other land units. And they're also pretty good at attacking buildings, which is good when you're going to break down a fortress. So the regular tank has 30 in attack, 30 in defense. So it's easy also. Either you use them for attacking or defending, it's the same values all the time. So remember this, 30 for infantry and 6 for building. And we check the heavy tank for the same and go down. It's 45 for normal, that's 50% extra compared to 30, and that's 9 for building, that's also 50% extra compared to the 6 a normal tank has. So you're getting 50% extra capacity for the heavy tank, but you're adding 50% of the money, but not as much as 50% for the resources to build it. So this makes me convinced that if you have the resources, if you are doing good with your production and you want to really push things, start with regular tanks, but as the game progresses, you can switch to heavy tanks. There is a slight difference in another area actually, and this is the speed, because the heavy tank is uh, moving with 30 speed. That's actually slower than infantry, and the normal tank is moving at 42, which is faster than infantry. Infantry has 36, so that is the edge for the regular tank for sure. So it's good to start building regular tanks and then switch to heavy tanks later on. And if you're aiming just for speed, then you should put a stack of ordinary tanks and don't get any heavy tanks or any infantry in there, and they will move faster and they can pave the way, so to say, for the rest coming behind. But all of these, or both of these units, are very, very useful, especially in the later part of the game when your enemy has fortresses. You're going to break down them pretty quick, and also you know about the rule about 50. You can only count the 50 strongest units in your stack. So having 100 infantry doesn't really get you anything. It's only the top 50 that can do any damage. But if you're adding tanks in this, promise you 50 tanks, that's a good force to be reckoned with. They can stop anything. So start mass producing tanks later in the game when you're available, when you have the factory in level 3 and level 4. And for land units, for land battles, they are extremely effective. So you should have that, and you should also have some artilleries to back them up to fight the opponent's artilleries. But tanks are a must in your portfolio of weapons for sure. So that's my thought about the tanks. And I should also mention this, by the way, very important. They do not defend well against air. Only 3 for a regular tank, and the heavy tank has, I think it was 4. Yeah, 4. So they are very poor in defending against the air. So we talked about that in other videos also. When you're having a stack with tanks, make sure you put some armored cars in there or balloons also, because they are defending well. If you cannot defend them yourself with fighters, that's also a good possibilities, of course. But remember that don't get single tanks without any support into situations where they can be attacked from the air. That's a big no-no. All right, that's all about the tanks. Thank you for this. Bye bye.